Heritage is important to Lane Jensen. His family is closing in on a century of holding an annual sheep drive that goes down Sardine Canyon to Brigham City.
Sheep are an interesting animal. They require patience, and they themselves are very impatient, especially when it comes to food. My grandfather put the outfit together in about 1928. This was his sheep outfit. We're just caretakers of it after the fact. We look up to him and respect him for what he did, for what he put together. He was a child of immigrants who, came from nothing. I remember sitting in the end of the barn. We'd come out sitting there with my grandfather on a bale of straw, and it seemed like there was always a sack of cookies or something that he was sharing with us. And then we were always expected to be around at shearing time or whenever we moved to help load the trucks or work the sheep in the corral. I guess I fell in love with it as a teenager and always wanted to do it. There's some freedom to it, to be able to work for yourself and to take care of things, but it's also taking pride in taking care of the animals too, to see them grow and do well and have something that you think has value to it that you feel like you help produce.
It's our life. It's not only our livelihood, but it's the way we do things. Everything revolves around, well, what needs to be taken care of with the sheep? What needs to be taken care of on the farm? What do we need to do here and there? I love my husband's work ethic with it. When we first got married, that was really hard for me, especially not growing up on a farm and not knowing how many hours and how detailed every little thing is that has to be completed.
We can spend time with family too. My favorite memory so far this summer was 3 weeks ago. We brought in one of the herds of sheep and got the camp set and everything else, and sat down with my wife and kids on a blanket on the grass and had a little picnic. And pretty pleasant thing.
I think our girls will be the ones that, if anyone takes it over, it'll be the two girls. My husband's third generation, they would be fourth. He's worked really hard to be able to pass this on to them and give them this legacy. And I'm really proud of that we have taught them this isn't a man's job, it's as much a woman's job.
I think it's pretty cool just knowing how far back it goes, and in a couple of years it'll soon be 100 years old. So that's pretty cool that we get to do this all the time, and some people don't even get to have this experience at all.
That's lupine.
Since I've grown up around it all the time, just going out with my dad and my older brother, I've just grown attached to it. That every year you get to see new animals. Because I've just been doing it since I was little and I like it. I don't think I'd ever want to stop doing it.
That had these metal flanges, these were all...
He's great. He's taught me how to drive trucks and how to do a whole bunch of different stuff like docking and branding and just moving sheep. And so being out to work with him is always one of the best parts of the day.
The animals have to follow the feed. So that's why summer times are up in the high country like this. Stay here as long as we can, where there's as much green feed as we can, and even when the feed dries out, it's still got a lot of punch to it to help the animals do well. The summer's come to an end, so it's time to leave the high country where we've been since the end of May and head back home to the fall and winter pastures just here in Boxelder County. The route is a public livestock trail. It was in existence before most of the roads and a lot of the homes too, but my grandfather started using it in the mid-1930s, and this trail existed before that. Trailing is just the means of moving them from one area to another. With sheep or cattle, you can do it when you want to move them a long distance. There's a process that gets into it, and that you've got your group together. You've got to have the help to keep the back end pushed up and to keep the sides tucked in so that you're not losing strays. If the sheep are in good shape and in good health, it seems it's better to walk them. As we go through Brigham City, anyway, that part. And, there was a time then that a lot of the housewives were out there with a broom in hand to make sure the sheep didn't set foot on their lawn. Now there's been a change in that there's quite a few people want to come out and see it and bring their kids. There's lots of squeals and laughter. Because it's something that you don't see it every day, and you may not see it forever.
It's a beautiful life, and I wouldn't change it for anything.